What's going on, guys? Welcome back to No Impulse Control. I am Justin,
I'm Jasmine.
and I have something in my eye.
That's bizarre. Normally I'm the one with something in my eye. You know what's weird? This is the first normal introduction we've done in so long.
I know.
Where one or the other of us hasn't started like cackling and or done like me start it or you say my name or like I don't know. It's just it's good to get back to our roots. It
Mm-hmm.
was really introspective of me. I apologize.
All right. Well, with that, hello. Welcome back.
My name is Brown Brown. You said it like a
Okay.
musical. I'm sorry.
Oh, I. Okay. Jasmine, how you doing? How you doing?
Hot.
It is hot.
This summer is warm. I'm not.
You
Well,
know
I
what's
know why.
crazy? Sorry.
Nope, you're good. Go.
I was just gonna say we're supposed to have this heat until next Thursday.
No, no, no. We're supposed to have this heat until October.
Well, no, I mean like this wave of heat of
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
super
yeah.
humid,
Yeah, it's gross. You got this.
hibbidi super humidity and
Mm-hmm.
like the hot weather.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's supposed to go until next Thursday for this area.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. For
It's
Maine,
global
kind of crazy.
warming. This is
Greta
not
Thunberg, where you at?
probably being hunted by the CIA.
Oh, most
Um,
definitely.
no, this is the new norm. Like it's just going to keep getting hotter. Speaking of which, where were we this past weekend, Justin?
I thought you were gonna say I look good today, and I was gonna be like, oh, thanks, but okay. We went to a Red Sox game, like I yelled at you last week about. That's why we went to Boston. I don't actually think that we said that we were going to a Red Sox
You
game.
know what's funny? I edited the other day, and I don't think I saw the words Red Sox. Maybe I
No.
said that we were taking Nika to his first game.
Oh, probably.
It was good though. It was a really good
Yeah,
game,
it was a really good game.
and
After
we've.
having,
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say after the Sox lost the first of the series,
Mm,
what was it, 6-4 or something, 6-1? I don't
it was
remember.
rough.
They had a bad first game, but then they came
Hmm.
back and beat this guy that was like I was expecting. I told these Connor and her um, that it was like, oh, this is like one of their better pitchers versus one of our not so good pitchers, and then it
Our
was just
pitcher
completely
rolled out the.
flipped.
He was like, "Justin's talking smack about me. I
Yeah,
have to really up it up from wherever we were sitting. We had good
we had
seats.
good seats. We weren't like if you've ever been to Fenway, there's like a red section, and then there's like the section behind that. We were behind that
We were
on
like
the
4 rows behind it
yeah. We're on the
in
away
section
team
26.
side. Yeah. In the
Which
grandstands,
is
as they
yeah.
say.
But I mean,
Um,
not it was better than last year's seats.
yes, we didn't have a pole in our face this year.
Correct. Although we did have a couple sweaty people on both sides of us.
Yeah, somebody sat on my lap. That was real fun.
That was weird. That was I didn't. He
I
was real
mean,
close to you.
I had good conversations with them. We talked. We literally were talking about he's getting to a high pitch count. What are they gonna do? Like we talked the game, but he sat in my lap, and I was like, this is
He
super.
did
Not literally. He sat in my lap, but he was essentially sitting in
almost.
my lap. I
Well,
was
and when
like,
he
this is
first
so
came over, his
uncomfortable.
butt was like
His
this
butt
close to
was
your
right in my
face.
face. I was like,
Good
this
thing
is
you
so
didn't.
great. I was so
Well,
happy.
so him and his friend were sitting in their assigned seats, but they were both bigger people and they didn't fit in the seats. Those seats are small. I will,
Uh
you know
huh.
what?
Uh
I
huh.
will guarantee, or I will say those seats are tiny.
They were also made in like 1912, so like updated, but like that was the original plan. So
Right. So they should probably take out a few of them. They probably have lead poisoning. Anyway, it was hot there the other day. Or was that
the other
yesterday?
day,
No, Saturday.
it was
It was
Saturday.
hot there in Boston. Like it was 90 degrees. It was toasty. And this guy and his friend were sitting next to us. And then they had some room, so he moved over to sit right next to Justin. Not in his assigned seat.
No, actually, that was his assigned
Oh,
seat.
that was his assigned seat.
That one and the one right next to him, but there was nobody on the end at that point, so they
Oh,
sat
so they
off, and then the guy
mhm.
bumped over. He's like, "You can come over when." He said it to his friend. He's like, "You could sit over here if anybody shows up." And I was like, "You could sit over there and just move the other direction." In my head, I was like,
Right.
"Give me space!" Like,
Move
but
off of my thigh. Yeah.
yeah,
And then
um,
we had space on the other side, and Connor was sitting on my right. and then he moved over, so we were butt to butt, hip to hip.
Yeah.
Micah was comfy
Oh
because
yeah.
he's a
I mean,
child.
you and I also gave him a lot of space. I did at one point. Both of us had our arms around him. Like, I
We
had
had
mine or
to.
you
I
had
couldn't
yours.
put my arms down. Oh my gosh!
Uh,
Also, this is torn and it's really bothering me. I ripped a hole in the armpit of my shirt. I
You
just
just
wanted to
showed the
share that.
world the armpit.
It's a
Just
body part,
look at
Justin. It's
my
fine.
armpit.
It's a body part, health teacher.
I just think it's funny that you were like armpit ripped.
Well, I was.
I don't care. I just thought it was kind of
I'm
funny.
adding things to my worksheet.
But yeah,
Anyway,
it was a fun game.
it was
They
good.
ended up
It was
winning
good energy.
six, five,
5-0.
5-0.
We should have had
And
6, but
it was, yeah, there was a couple of like calls, but
but
we
not
still
as
won.
many as we've
So
seen in the past.
I was gonna say this one was pretty good
Yeah.
call wise.
And the vibe at Fenway was so
It was
good.
very fun.
It
Very
was yeah,
fun.
it was a good one. Last year, who did we see? We saw the Orioles, I think, right?
I don't remember. I thought it was.
I
I thought
Yeah, it was the Orioles last year.
Was it the Orioles?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just know that they got rained out. So
Yes, yes, they did. No, this one was good.
great.
It's Sonic for dinner. Had the world's sketchiest bathroom experience.
Yeah, the toilet, when you sat down on the toilet, it went from like a
Tunk.
level seat to like tunk, and like
You
you
were
were sitting there.
you're peeing at an angle.
Yeah.
The door. If any of you have been to the Sonic in Massachusetts on I-95 heading back north towards Maine, you know the Sonic, and it is.
Everybody knows that Sonic.
Well, a couple people like wrote on the wall, "I drove from Maine for this," and someone else said, "Me too." I posted on my Snap story and said, "Me 3." Yeah, that was rough. I was
But
just
no
hoping Micah.
vandalism was done by you, right?
No, 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 no. Just on Snapchat. I didn't have a pen with me.
Fair.
Yeah. And then
You
when we
wouldn't
got in there,
vandalize the Sonic bathroom, but you would vandalize the pesky pole in in Fenway.
yes, I would. If I had a marker with me, I would have vandalized the door. No, I wouldn't have vandalized the door. I would have added my artwork.
You wanna say that into my pocket?
That's all right. Mine's where they're always recording. Oh, show my notifications here. It's just your wife on Instagram, sending me messages. I'm sure you'll get
That's
some
fair.
in a moment anyway.
I think I might have one. I don't know.
But no,
Nope,
when
I
we
don't.
got into the bathroom, the women's sounded like the water was running, but the door was askew. And when I opened it, it's a pitch black bathroom. The light was broken and the faucet was on.
All the way on. There was a
All the
nice
way on. It
puddle,
was
like not forming on the ground, but in the sink it was.
no, there
forming.
it was wet on the ground.
Was it?
Yeah. I was like,
We're
oh my
wild.
god. So I just used the men's bathroom because I didn't want to die. And I wasn't going to invite either Justin or Micah to stand in the bathroom with me.
That would have been
So.
really weird.
It would have been really weird. Anyway,
But yeah,
how are you,
Sox
Justin?
won. I'm okay.
We always spend so much time talking about how I am because I get distracted and I feel bad. I want to validate your emotions and feelings and give you space to speak, you know?
I
You notice
don't.
how long
I
that
don't
rant
like
was
that.
about you don't want to be validated?
No, I do, but I don't. I don't. I'm good. I'm doing good.
Okay. So before we start our topic of the day, I'm wearing a Noah Khan shirt, and have you seen the news about his Alpine concert last night?
The one that got canceled.
Not only canceled, horrifically canceled. Do you know why it got canceled, first of all?
Wasn't it like heat warning or something like that, or there was weather of some
It
sort?
was, yeah, it was, and whoever, if anyone knows the official thing, but it was a heat warning and thunderstorms, I believe. Like, it was severe weather.
Fair.
However, Alpine, or I think it's called Alpine, the place where they were at, has no cell service. So the people running, I think it's Live Nation, runs most of the concerts. And Live Nation, which does like, the social media updates and whatever, kept telling people to check their socials for updates. You can't check your socials if there's no service, right?
Yeah.
So then they only had one exit getting out of the park. And it's like, it's Noah Khan, so it's like in the woods and there's, fairies and centaurs running about.
Of
There's
course.
not really, but it's, it's folksy. So he doesn't do like super backwoods concerts, but a lot of them that I've seen have always been like
Small and
mountainous,
intimate. Yeah.
small and intimate. This was one of his biggest concerts in
Yeah.
this like region. So anyway, he was doing his concert, and or he was supposed to do his concert, and it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And they didn't it was supposed to start at 7:30. People did not find out about it being canceled until 10 p.m. 11 was when the storm was like rolling in.
That's
So everybody
disgusting.
is going back, right? So everybody's going back to their car. They only have one exit allowed, so people can't exit from all the lots. Only the
Hmm.
VIP section could exit. So people were sitting in their cars, like during this severe weather. Teens and kids who got dropped off by parents couldn't call their parents to come get them. That people were walking in, like it was horrific. So everybody was, my TikTok was inundated with it,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh my god, what's happening? And then I put on my Noah Khan shirt this morning, and it's just been bad luck from there. I saw him last year. I wanted to bring you, but I did not type out Rosemary. But it's
Yeah.
just been bad
You're.
luck. This is the Noah Khan shirt with the hole in the armpit. I think it might be
Hmm. Hmm.
cursed.
You know what would have been good and nice of you if you brought me as well. I'm an adult. I would have bought my ticket. I have
I
I
didn't.
have
I
some
didn't
adult
buy my
money.
ticket. My coworker got a bunch of them through the
Okay.
cheap, like the she got the code, the
Yeah.
pre-sale code, and then bought pre-sale like 4 or 5 of them, and sold me 2 of them. And then she had the rest of them. She had a whole group of people, but got me Rosemary and mine.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I next time I will get you one. It was also at that point I didn't know if you liked Noah Khan to the point of a
Yeah.
concert
I don't
until I
think I
had
did at
purchased
that
and
point,
whatever.
honestly.
Right now, I think we
Um.
could go, but his tickets are like, $200.
Yeah,
Like
because
good
he's
for him,
awesome now. Yeah.
but like
Um.
also us folksy folk can't afford that.
What are you doing, Noah? Huh? Huh, Noah?
I know he's not the one that sets his prices, but
No,
like,
he's not.
get it
Um.
together.
Speaking of shirts,
Oh, do you have it? We'll never know. He ran away. Speaking of shirts, he's gone. I will remember you. Friend, where did you go? I think he's picking our merch. I think he's going to grab that. This is awkward with just me here. How are you guys? How was your weekends? He's back! I thought you were going to put it on, but that's fine.
oh no, no, I don't. What do you mean? I don't have any merch.
Okay, you can't just say speaking of shirts and go running into the background.
I did get one of them. I
You
haven't
did?
gotten all of the stuff. This is a little plug for my channel, but we do have merch. I think we told you that last week.
Mm-hmm.
We have merch that is live. This is the sweatshirt.
Is
Be
that the
on the
TSK
lookout.
one?
This is the TSK one. Be on the lookout for um, potentially a photo shoot. I don't know. I haven't brought this up to you, but I have an idea for a good one.
Okay.
But be on the lookout
Yeah.
for that on the socials.
Mm-hmm,
Nana,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you said in the last video she was confused where the ah! We just got attacked.
I just got tagged.
um,
That was your inner
here?
teenager coming. Why is your monkey
There's a bug.
staring straight into the camera? Homeboy is staring.
That is Charles. Leave Charles alone.
That's his name is Charles?
I don't know. I actually don't remember what I named him. So,
Okay.
anyways, yeah, be on the lookout for stuff on our socials. Our socials are posted on YouTube, I believe. You can
Yes.
check in the bio of YouTube. But anyways,
That was really
here is
confident,
the
wasn't it?
oh yeah, here's the
I'm
TSK
going.
sweatshirt.
That
Front of
blue
it.
is gorgeous.
Beautiful blue.
Look at that gold. Ooh. So, just so you guys are aware, because I know you don't see the back. Sorry, while you're telling
I'll
them
stand
or
up.
showing them, ooh, that came out clean, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we redid that design a bunch
Yeah, I
and
am
figured it
too.
out. It came out good. So, and that also helps me know how big things are going to show up on the things.
I'll even
Um,
throw it on for y'all.
in this heat, wow, he loves you guys a lot. So, just so you guys are aware of some of the background stuff, because I think it's important that you know kind of like what goes into the process. Um, if you've ever decided to make merch, or even just like, hey, I want to make family t-shirts for the gang, you know, or your school, or, oh, that looks clean. That's nice. Um, Rap album, drop it now.
What?
You look like you're about to drop a rap album when you flip the hood up.
All right, I'm taking this off because it's hot.
It's hot, yeah. So we did our first one through Printful because we were just starting out. Those of you who have, I don't know if you guys can see up in his top corner that little smiley face. That was from his Good Vibes collection we did last summer. It was dropped on his birthday. Good stuff. However, Printful was not great with the sizing and stuff like that, so we decided to go with what's it called, Fourth Wall this year.
Fourth wall.
If you are going to go with Fourth Wall, just know that sometimes the colors get a little skewed. This is our first time using it, so feedback really helps us. Like if you get on there and you're like, hey man, I don't really, none of the colors work or they don't have it in my size, please let us know so that we can do better because we're only doing what we know how to do right now and we're doing this on our own. We don't have a person. By the way, applications are open if anyone wants to design things because we're not paying you, but with love.
I was gonna say
But
neither of us are
applications
getting paid for this, but
we don't have time to do some of the stuff we would really love to be able to do. But if
must
anyone
be
wants
able to
to,
edit as well.
yeah, if anyone
Throw
wants
that
to
in there.
volunteer, we will
And you're
pay you.
not
I will
either of our
bake you
students.
bread. I will.
And you're not
I'll
either of our
make you.
students. Make
Yeah,
sure
no
that's clear.
students. Man, no students. But yeah,
You have
anyway,
to
no,
be
it's just
graduated high school.
actually, you know what? People that don't know us personally in real life, we will
I
take
like
your
that idea.
applications
Yeah.
only. Anyway, it just there's a lot that goes into it, and I think I speak for both of us, Justin, when I say I often do, but I speak for both of us when I say I think that we really appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah.
And although the merch is for us and we're excited about it, it's for you guys. And if you have ideas on designs, on colors, on different
Video
stuff,
ideas,
video ideas, like all of that kind of
topics.
stuff helps us grow. And we can only do with what we've got. And I know I was looking at like just stuff on like TikTok the other day for our channel, and we've gotten like 20 new followers, which is so cool. Um, and just I just wanted to plug a thank you to you guys for all the
Yeah.
support because we are just weirdos with mics, and we were somehow allowed to start a channel on YouTube,
New
and we
shirt
just really
idea.
appreciate the love. Weirdos with
And they
mics.
weirdos with mics. I
Hold
kind
on,
of
I'm
like
getting the
it.
document open.
Yeah, like she said, she's speaking for both of us. It is a very like we thank you for everything, for supporting us. And just an extra little thing, if you want to keep supporting us, we have a website, the Soccer King 1239, that gets you to the merch and all the other things.
I'm not going to
And
edit
you
in a
just go
thing. I
right
don't know
to
why I
it.
did that.
Imagination.
Website name.
But yeah, go to that. You can contact us through that. You can get the merch through that. It comes in fairly quickly. Like that sweatshirt, I think took maybe a week to get to me, and
Mm-hmm.
it's made here in the U.S. So if that matters to you, then there you go. Um, I also want to say a big thank you to everybody who has been subscribing and sharing our stuff because that helps us. If you comment on our stuff, that helps us in the algorithm.
Thank you,
YouTube
Nana.
and yeah, thank you, Nana.
I think it's
YouTube
Nana
and
and Darcy.
Spotify. Yeah, I think so.
They're keeping
YouTube
us
and
afloat.
Spotify really do take that into consideration. So
Mm-hmm.
like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff that everybody says. Follow. And if you're watching on Spotify, keep
Listening.
listening on Spotify. Keep listening because we're trying to grow there. I mean, we can only do so much, and but thank you. That's really what it comes down to. And when I do get the merch that we got
Mm-hmm.
or that I got for No Impulse Control, we will
Mm-hmm.
have something about it, whether it's a post or in the video or whatever.
Even if we don't do an official photo shoot, we will post pictures so you guys can see. Um, and Nana, thank you. I did check our socials are not on anything, so I'm going to post
Okay.
those when we finish this. So thank you,
Okay.
Nana, for the feedback.
Yeah, see, we take it. We love it. But anyways, now that
All
we're 20
right.
minutes into this episode, let's finally get to the topic that we actually wanted to talk about today.
Oh
uh,
goodness, this
so
is the
that
quality
topic,
content.
yeah, like we said last time, we're getting so big that we get distracted. Like
Yes, that's what
that's
it
what it
must
is.
be. It's not the unmedicated, undiagnosed ADHD.
I don't know what you're talking about. Couldn't
That's
be
because you're
that.
unmedicated or undiagnosed.
And what? What'd you say? You want to say that again to my good
Undiagnosed.
ear? Okay,
Undiagnosed.
summer camps. So we wanted to talk about summer camps because, well, we're in the middle of summer, so it's summer camp season. So,
Hmm.
Jasmine,
Hmm.
you want to start?
No, I've never been to summer camp.
There you go. You started.
No, yeah, I didn't do summer camp. I went to my grandparents for the summer. And
Fair.
I did vacation Bible school a lot, which is weird coming from me. But for those of you who know me in real life, but I did years of vacation Bible school. Um I had all the little figurines that you get, like the little animals and stuff. I collected those things.
Yeah,
Um I had all the arts and crafts. I went with my grandparents, who I think just wanted a babysitter, if I'm being very honest with you.
that's
There
usually what
were.
summer camps are used for.
Yeah. And
If we're
then
being honest.
when I was a little older, like 15, I helped run, or not run, but I was like one of the camp, I don't want to say counselors, but like camp people for like a summer school program almost.
Hmm.
It was,
Was it similar to what we did when you were working at my school?
well, it was for young kids, like, like
Littles.
10-year-olds. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
my sister was in my group kind of thing. And like
Hmm.
she, whatever, but I did like the arts and crafts and I set up, that kind of stuff. So it was not really like a summer school program like that, but it was like, it wasn't a camp either. It was just like a day camp. So kids
Yeah.
would come for the day and they
Those
didn't
are a
have to be
thing.
there every day. And then we
Yeah.
would go to the pool and stuff. And
Yeah.
so I
Definitely.
guess technically I've been like a camp counselor, but I
Yeah.
always wanted to do like what Kevin did. I always wanted
Hmm.
to go like do summer camp.
So I've done a couple of summer camp type
Hmm.
things. I have one specific that I've always been a part of, and it means a lot to me, enough to the point that I've tattooed it onto my body. But I also have done a summer camps where it was like similar to what you were doing, what you
Hmm.
said, where it's like kids come for the day, they have fun, and then they leave.
Yeah.
I did that while I was in college, and that was like I can't remember
Where
what it
was
was
that?
called, but it was through the FRC.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I brought one of my kiddos, my BHP kiddos, there once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
like
didn't come
it's
back.
no, but it's literally just like a show up, play a couple games,
Hmm.
go home, like
A
or go on
place
a
for your
field trip
kids to
or something
be,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
the summer.
babysitting is what it is. Um,
And I've
but
done
isn't
daycare
all
and stuff,
things
but yeah.
yeah, isn't all things though babysitting when it comes to dealing with kids that aren't staying with their parents, like realistically?
I want you to be very clear about what you mean here because technically, as teachers,
That's what I'm saying.
are you saying that we're just babysitters?
I'm saying that a lot of people see us as babysitters.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you see us, and I was like, Justin, I want
No,
you to
no, I
exit the
know what we
podcast.
are.
I'm taking over.
You will never be on social media again. No, I,
Cancelled.
I believe that teachers are more than babysitters.
You know what
Obviously,
though? If we are babysitters, pay us like babysitters because
that's what I'm saying.
I charge I like a reasonable rate. I think maybe I'm charging way over what people can afford, but um, when I was in Farmington and I did babysitting to like pay for my tuition, it was I charged 15 an hour
Mhm.
for
Usually
one
20
kid
an hour is
and then
like
20 for two
average.
kids. And I did overnights. I did, whatever. But it
Yeah.
like I made a good amount of money from between that and the daycare. Like I made bank. Um and if I'm making, extra 5 per kid that I have and I have a class of 10 kids,
Yeah.
I'm making bank cuz that's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 182 days a school year. Like
Yep.
So I wouldn't be too opposed to that.
Now, just to play a devil's advocate, and I'm
Mm,
with you, by the way. I want to get paid
hmm
more, obviously, um, but
That's
they,
45 an hour.
hmm and that's
Just thought
only
I'd.
that's with the small class because
That's with
like
10 kids.
10 kids is a pretty small
Well,
class.
hold on,
My biggest
15.
class, my biggest class, I have 18 kids.
So I'm
Do,
trying.
do,
18
do,
kids. I'm doing the
do,
math. Keep
do,
talking.
do. But yeah, I think if you're gonna bump the pay, then consider that. I also want to make the point because I know that people come at us in the comments about if we get summers off, blah 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 blah. We don't get paid for summer.
I don't get summers off.
Well, that's because you have a specialty school. Public
Fair enough.
school doesn't get paid for summer unless you are working summer school. The way that we get paid is because we take less throughout the year so that
Hmm.
we can get paid over the summer.
Right. So like
Or
we
some
don't get
people
like a
just don't
full
do it that way.
page. Right. We
Some
we
people
don't
get
take a
paid for 9 months instead of 12.
right. They do their full paycheck over 26 or oh, not over 26 weeks, over 20 weeks.
Right.
And then those 6 weeks in the summer or whatever it ends up actually being,
Right.
um 8 weeks or whatever, ends up being just like they have to either get a second job or they save throughout the year or they work
Right.
rely on bonuses or whatever. And
Or
that's
spouse or whatever
or
it
a
might be.
spouse, yeah. So it's like yes, summer's off and like yes, I can go on vacation during the summer,
It helps our mental health, I'll give you that much.
but it's also not summer's off because you're still planning for next year.
Hmm.
Like I'm still
I still
setting up
have to
my
go in.
classroom.
I was
Right.
going to
We
say,
still
I
have to
still
go
have
for
to go
professional
in.
development. By the way, if you were charging 15 an hour for one kid and then $5 for every extra kid that you add on, you'd be making 105 an hour for your class of 18, which comes out to roughly 840 a day. Times 5 days a week is 4,200 a week. Times 26 of those paychecks is $109,200 before taxes. If it's an even amount, right? Like,
Money, please.
yeah. Do you know what I would do for $109,000?
I don't think I want to know.
I'd beg. Like,
I don't know that I'd beg. I think if I'm
I
gonna
think
get
I
paid that
deserve
much,
it.
I'm gonna make sure it's a professional way that I'm gonna get there. I also want to make a point that because we're on this soapbox now, what other job do you have to go to college to get a bachelor's degree for that gets paid the way that we get paid?
Social work,
Which is not fair either. I would argue that they have a harder job than
harder
teachers.
job. Working very closely with a social worker, I could not do her job day in day out. Like
Mm-mm.
I would break. And
Mm-hmm.
I work very closely with her. I do a lot of the not the same stuff, obviously. I don't do the same stuff.
No, but SEL is pretty like
But
social. It's
like
social emotional learning. So like,
it's hard. Like
mm-hmm.
the job that teachers do is hard. And then add on to it now you're doing social work. You're working with like I just that emotional like fragility is I just can't imagine it.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I
But it's
just I don't
also
get it.
I think that nobody besides our one percenters are being paid what they are worth. Because I know there's
No.
a big argument for like McDonald's workers don't deserve 15 an hour. I think that they should also be able to live without having to have three jobs.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yep.
um, I like
The
I think
argument
that.
of inflation like not mattering to those that are getting paid hourly jobs is kind of a
But you
bullcrap
know,
argument. Like I get it. You got to equal it
money's
out.
made up.
Money is made up.
You know the like.
Before we get too deep into this, I do
No, no,
want
no.
to. I
I'm
want
just
to
saying.
like us to take a pause.
I'm just saying like the monetary system. Like
We did make it up. I mean,
it's
Alexander Hamilton was a person.
arbitrary.
So,
Like this whole like well inflation we have to pay blah 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 like do we
who is blowing into the balloon of inflation? That's the question.
so summer camps
Anyways,
what
summer
what
camps.
if you could design your own summer camp like your perfect summer camp what would you want
Ooh.
to have as a part of it? We've never had this conversation.
No,
A
we
lot of
haven't.
times we talk about topics we've talked about or touched on before. We've never talked about this before and I want to know.
No. I think it would, and this is only because it's a bias that I have. I think it would be similar to what ATLC is. ATLC,
Okay.
for those who don't know, is my summer camp that I got tattooed on myself. It stands for Aroostook Teen Leadership Camp. It
It's all the
basically is
kids'
like
faces around his back. Yeah.
no, it basically is a it's a camp that teaches kids leadership skills along with teaching them how to stay drug free. Just a little plug for them. They do have a TikTok and a YouTube and all the fun stuff. So if
Do
you want
they
to go look them up,
really?
they do. So you can go check them out if you wanted to. But they are so like to me they're a big deal because I went as a camper in 8th grade and it like just made such a big impact. And then as I've grown up, I've never missed a year. The only time that I didn't do ATLC for a year was 2020.
What's their TikTok?
I think it's just a Rustic Teen. I think it might be ATLC, it might be a Rustic Teen Leadership Camp. But yeah, so they are a huge deal for me. So I think it would be something similar to that. I'd want to have some, and this sounds weird coming from a health teacher, but I don't know that I'd want to have to deal with the drug-free element. I think
Mm.
I'd want to try to find a mental health element to kind of focus on rather, because I
Mm-hmm.
think that mental health can lead to being drug free.
Mm-hmm.
If you're mentally
If you're getting the
healthy,
support,
you're
you're less likely to be. I mean, not
exactly
to say you're never going to try any of this stuff, but like you're less likely to have a want to
want to.
fix something with, whatever.
Right. So I think I would probably do something similar to that. I'd probably make it an overnight camp, as much
I was
as
going to ask,
it might be a struggle for people who are
could
in
you
that
have
state.
it
But
as a day or overnight? Like people who struggle with overnight could leave and then come back in the morning?
so yes, you could. I mean, I don't. I the authenticity of the camp goes away if a camper leaves. That's the way
Mm.
I've always felt. We've had in the past that I've been doing camp since 2012, so
Mhm.
11, 12 years, whatever.
12 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
This year will be my 12th year.
Wow.
But yeah, like we've had kids or campers go and come
Mhm.
back, and it's like only on certain circumstances because the authenticity of the camp gets destroyed for everybody if we
Well,
have
and
somebody
there's like
going out
the
into the real world and then coming
right.
back to camp.
There's like the
Because
camaraderie in the evenings and like the activities and stuff and
right. And the thing is, and we say this a lot at camp is not a thing without the people who are doing it. Those that are
Mhm.
involved with it, though, I mean, there's still somebody there that was this is his like 30th year. I don't know. He's
That's
been
awesome.
around for a long time, and he is like I look up to him, and I'm like this is the guy that I'm like okay, if he ever leaves, that's what I want to be. And so
Right.
like I've always tried to like gauge where I'm at with how
Mhm.
he sees me and how I'm doing things. At the same time, like I said, camp is built based off of the people. So wherever
Mhm.
we go, we know how to run camp enough that we're always going to have, and we call it ATLC magic. We're always going to have ATLC magic. The
Mhm.
magic is in the people. It's not where we are. Because in
Mhm.
the 12 years that I've been involved, I went as a camper. I went to MSSM,
Mhm.
and then we moved to NMCC, and then we did a year, which was kind of a crappy year, but it was the hybrid year where we did it at the Caribou Rec Center, and
Mhm.
then now we're at UMFK. Like we've been
Oh, okay.
around, and every year we've brought that stuff back. So I think
Yeah.
that magic back. So I think it really does come down to the people that are in it, and
Mhm.
that's the important part. If you find those people that really care, you're likely to have a good solid camp. Whether
Mhm.
it's about being a leader or whether it's about I don't know being a good athlete,
Mhm.
like or whatever else it might be. Like it just depends on the people that you hire or that you have involved. If
Mhm.
they care enough, it's going to be a good camp.
I love that. Very
But yeah,
inspirational.
thank you. So I think I think that my camp that I would design would be something along the lines of like a leadership camp,
Mhm.
a way that you can help yourself, but also be able to help your friends and
Mhm.
have an element of like mental health support.
I like
That
that.
way I can get the grants that I know I would need as a
Right.
community health program, which by the way is my degree. So I could hypothetically start a camp, and I'd have to do a lot of grant writing and that kind of stuff, which I don't want to do. But
I will do that. I like doing that.
I hate grant writing. I took a full on college course for grant writing, and I think I wrote a section of it. I I had a person in my group. We created this whole thing that was like, I can do the writing, just tell me what we want to do. And I'm like, I got you. I will help you in any way I can, but I cannot write. So
See, that's the other thing
maybe
is I want to be the person that writes it. You just tell me what to put in there, and I'll find
yeah,
the way to phrase it.
fair. Maybe in the
Yeah.
future when we get huge and buy our own
Mm.
building, we'll start a summer camp and call it like, no impulse controls camp.
Mm,
Probably won't call it that, but we'll think of
mm.
something good.
Oh, we could call it the Nick Camp.
The Nick camp. Maybe not.
Maybe we don't say that one too fast.
I know. Anyways, Jasmine, what is your camp that you would create?
Um, so I kind of love the idea of like the mental health thing, but something that we so for those of you that don't know, like I do day treatment in the summer too. So where I'm at right now, we do summer program. It's part of my contract. Me and my ed techs are there. My ed techs and I, whatever. And
Grammar.
it's the summer. But we do a trip every week, and that's like something that my kids really look forward to. They have to be safe to go, but we go to different ponds and lakes, and we go to the ocean, and we do all these like fun things with the kids that they just don't get to experience. And that's part of what we do during the school year too. Is we have fun days, and it's fun for the staff, but it's also a way for the kids to experience stuff that they just haven't before. So like some of my kids have never gone to like a Chinese food buffet. Even though they live close, they just don't have the financial means or transportation or whatever. So that's something that we do during the school year. So I would want for my summer camp, I'd want it to be a month long with enough time after school ends and before school starts to like give them a break.
Mm-hmm.
I would want it to be a low cost camp. I would try to get funding from like other sources before having to charge the parents an arm and a leg, because
Mm-hmm.
I know looking at camps, like there's been a whole big summer camp thing on my TikTok recently where
They're
parents,
expensive.
well, they're expensive, but there are some in like New York and like I'd like to say they're full experience camps. It's like staying in a resort, right? And I saw the prices, and the prices are like some of these parents are paying $20,000 to send their kids to camp. They're financing a home, refinancing their home to send these guys to camp. And the camp, it looks cool. They're staying
Yeah.
in top notch cabins. They're not going to have bugs coming in through the walls.
Mm-hmm.
They've got fully functional, outlets, and they've got cell service, and they have Wi Fi. And like, that's cool. If you want your kid to go to that and you can afford it, go for it. But there are kids who are going to look at that and say, I didn't get a good camp experience because of blah, blah, blah. So I want to kind of eliminate the financial part as much as possible. Like, if the parents can give a donation, that's cool. Obviously, perfect world, it would never happen this way. But if the parents could just give a financial donation, if they
Yeah.
wanted to, then cool. But otherwise, every camper is going to get the same experience, regardless of their financial situation. I would definitely want it to be outdoor based. I like the idea of my kids getting to see things that they haven't necessarily. Like, not every kid, even now, even in Maine, has slept in a tent.
Right.
However, I also want them to be accessible and comfortable, and I don't want it to be a thing of like, you have to do this because it's camp.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be an expectation, but if they're not, there's an accessible way to do it too. Swimming, I want to go on field trips. I would, want it to be based around the kids getting to have cool experiences that they might not be able to any other time.
You know what would be cool? And sorry, go ahead.
Nope. I was going to say the only other thing that I would want to have it is, for me personally, I'd want it to be not religious. Because that
Mm-hmm.
was something that summer camp, when I did go to like the day whatevers, is they were all super religious. And as someone who is, I won't say I'm not religious, but I'm not fully like
Yeah.
committed to like a denomination or whatever. It was hard to fit in because there are all these kids that go to church all year long, and I'm just like, I'm here for the snacks. Like it felt like I was lying, and I wouldn't want to just, I wouldn't want it to be like a strictly Christian or a strictly, whatever camp,
Yeah.
and then have a bunch of kids who would really benefit from going not feel comfortable, safe, and like welcome there because they're not that religion.
Right.
So
I
I'd want it
think
to have a non-religious background.
Yeah, I think that I mean there's a lot of camps out there that are not religious. I mean, it
Hmm.
also comes down to your parents because these are children, so
Hmm.
they can't always make that decision based
Hmm.
on, the home life and all that stuff. I also think
For sure.
that something that, and the reason why I say that ATLC is the people is something that they do is that we don't leave, and I'm not downing leaving campus or anything like that, but when we stay there, especially if you can limit the amount of access of people outside of camp,
Mm-hmm.
like it just makes something different. It just makes an element of like
Right.
the camaraderie amongst this group of people have hasn't like, I mean, I see these kids for what? I meet them Sunday and they leave Thursday. So Sunday half a day,
So like
Monday,
six
Tuesday,
days,
Wednesday,
5 days.
Thursday for half a day. Like 4 days if you
Mm-hmm.
do the two halves together. You have 4 days, and these kids, I build great relationships with them. I used to, like, even when I was their age, I was building great relationships, and it just felt like such a
Excuse
strong
me.
bond. I think something that could be considered if you want to do like those things to give those kids the opportunity to experience something else is maybe doing something, again, not shutting down your idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine going out to camp, that's whatever. But maybe
I
bringing
like
in
your
like,
idea, but
I know. I'm guilty of doing that when I'm like when I'm trying to run something. I'm guilty of doing that. But anyways, it would be like bringing people in. So like instead of going to the experience, have the experience come to them. So they're not leaving campus per se, but they're still getting that opportunity.
I meant
Yes,
like
Jasmine
going
in
on
the
a.
back.
Yes, thank you. So I actually meant no. So I meant like kayaking in like. So
Oh, okay,
ideally,
yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
be at a big enough campground that it's got like a mountain range or like whatever, right?
Got it.
But I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
also want it to be personally. I'd want it to be in a different. I don't want to say biome, but like a different area each time. So it's not always
Minecraft.
the same building. But like, one time we go to like I think when we went to InterVarsity, that weekend away
Yeah.
at
Okay.
Toanippie, like something like that, right? So there's a lake that you can go on. You could go on a hike, you could go for a big walk around all the bridges, and I would want my campers to have downtime to explore those options without being like, today at 3 p.m., we are kayaking for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that's anxiety inducing of like, I can do nothing until 3 p.m. because I have kayaking. I've never been kayaking. I don't know what to do. Like, what if it takes, whatever?
Right.
And I'd want my campers to be able to experience that, make friends, whatever. But I don't want to take them out. I'm not bussing these kids around.
Okay. That's what I was.
But
I
like,
was like,
yeah,
you were
no, no, no.
saying it, and I was like,
I
that's
got you.
it's great,
I got
but
you. Yeah, no. I meant like experiences like not everybody goes kayaking, not everybody goes camping in the
right.
woods. So like, for the month that we're there, maybe one weekend it's a camping one and we don't make them bring any of their supplies. We have supplies.
Hmm.
And we're not going to be uncomfortably like you have to hunt for your own food. You can if you want to, pick a fish, I guess. But we'll bring food for the children to have and like we'll build a
Right.
campfire together and we'll teach them how to do those things in a fun, safe collaborative environment that
Environment.
isn't
Right.
like you have to know all these skills before you get there. I don't want to have a Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts camp. I
Yeah.
want to have a fun experience for kids. I would have it be unisex, like it could be boys, girls, whoever. I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
put them all in the same
No,
cabin.
you have to have two different cabins or two different locations.
Right. I've worked with children. I understand how children work. But like when we go camping, it would be like two kids and a teacher to a tent or two teachers because of legalities. But like
Yeah.
figured that out. And so it's the least creepy. I would also require every staff member to go through extensive background checks, fingerprinting, everything.
Fair.
There
What
will
if so
be
here's
no
my question
creeps.
to you. Here's my question to you. Do you want to have people that you hire on and pay, or do you want to have something where it's like ATLC where it's a volunteer basis?
Either is fine. I think some of like cooks and things like that, I would want
Hmm.
to pay handsomely, because they're dealing with that many kids and like it's a one single
It's a
thing.
job. Yeah.
Right. I would be okay with volunteers, but I would want to give them a stipend in some way.
Okay.
Like personally, I love the idea of volunteering, but like obviously free housing. But I also know that a lot of kids like for summer jobs they would also like they're going to have to find a way to have a summer job too. So I'd like
Hmm.
to be able to give them a stipend in some way, if not a full paycheck, but like at the end they get $1,000 or something. Like
Yeah.
maybe not that
And
much,
also
but
like I mean ATLC is a week. You're thinking a month, so a stipend
right,
makes
right.
sense.
So it'd be yeah, so it'd be different because I'm gonna ask. I'd be asking them whatever, and I would also be okay if in a perfect world, right? Like this is not
Yeah.
really going to happen, but
Well, you
if
never know.
people
Maybe in the distant future, but
maybe, but like having volunteers there. If somebody, volunteered for camping week, and like that week they wanted to volunteer to be like they're an expert in camping and they go all the time and they know how to do all the stuff, I'd be fine with them being there for that week and
Yeah.
volunteering for that week. And then when we go do all the kayaking stuff, whatever. Like, I want to make it accessible without making it obnoxious.
Yep.
Um, but yeah.
So if you like what you're hearing and you have a lot of money, you can send it our way, and we'll start doing
My
the camp.
Venmo is, I believe it's J Corkins 2122. I also accept donations just because you feel like it.
We could also do it to TSK1239.
We too are
That
broke
also-
children
Yeah.
that would like to go
yeah.
to camp.
Yeah, Venmo, PayPal, all those things. We got you.
You could just pay us in
Anyways,
person next time you see us. Accept cash.
maybe don't chase us down though. That seems creepy.
With cash?
No.
No, chase
you
me down
gonna-
with cash. You have cash? I will take your
Is
cash.
that all it takes, Jasmine? Is that all it takes? Somebody running down the...
I'm a broke teacher.
I get that. What if somebody and just all right, we live in a certain world where things happen, okay?
Chase him down then. He's a man. He can take it.
I don't want people chasing me. If somebody chases me, I don't care if you're a man, woman, or child, I might turn around and just pop, you're done.
Men, women,
You
and
run up
children.
on me
These
like
hands
that.
are rated E for everyone.
It's on sight if you're chasing me.
Sorry, my pop fell down when I was angrily moving all my stuff back in here.
Oh man. Anyways, yeah. So
Stand up.
I think that I think summer camps can be a super beneficial thing. I think there is also an element of harmfulness if you really go to a bad one, but most summer camps tend to have positive experiences with them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it also depends on, like you said, like sending a kid to a religious one when they're not religious. Maybe that's something that you might want to not do, or maybe doing like, sending a kid to an athletic camp when they're not really that athletic and probably shouldn't be there.
Do you remember when we were kids, they used to have fat camps?
Do
you remember ever hearing about those?
I also lived in the county, so like...
Well, no, it wasn't like a thing. Like, they weren't around that much, but there was always like...
I remember hearing about them, yeah.
Right, like, you're so big, we're going to have to send you to fat camp for the summer or whatever. Like,
Right.
If you keep eating... Like, I remember that, and I'm like, that's a harmful one.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Or like, Anyway, we're out of time. I'm not going to keep going with examples. I heard the sigh. I know what's going on.
So anyways, that's summer camps. If you had an experience at summer camp, let us know in the comments down below, because we'd love to hear it. We'd love to read about it. We tend to respond to your comments. I know I and Jasmine try to respond as much as we can. We tend to get to all of them, I'm pretty sure. But let us know in the comments down below what your kind of experiences were. And if you're on Spotify, you can also comment that too. Jasmine,
if you're
where
on
can
Spotify,
they find you?
go to YouTube, comment on the YouTube.
Or do it on Spotify. You can do it there. We would like to grow both.
Yeah. It's just hard. Okay, anyway. They can find me over at Asminsta on TikTok, Instagram. One of those is 1721. Don't ask me which. I haven't the foggiest. You can find me over at Twitch.
What did you just say?
I haven't the foggiest. You never heard that?
No.
Means I don't have I don't have any idea.
Well, at first I thought you said I haven't the thoughtiest, and I was like, pardon? What?
Nope, haven't the foggiest. It's a older phrase. They can find me over on Twitch at Asminsta1721. You can go follow the show. Send us your love on Instagram and TikTok. You guys really showed up and showed out for our last 2 TikTok videos. Thank you. Love that. We got a lot of new followers from that one. And we will be posting more when the merch comes out. Make sure you're following so you get updates. Justin, where can they find you?
TSK1239 on all socials. If not, then it's the Soccer King 1239. Go check out the YouTube, my YouTube. I just posted a video recently. I have a really good idea of one for the future that Jasmine will be a part of. Not sure when it's going to be posted, but anyways, go to the website, thesoccerking1239.com. Go to the merch tab, go click the 4th wall, and you can see all the merch that we have in store that you can buy at this very moment. There's also some sort of potential chaos coming down the road. But again, keep your eye out on the socials. Jasmine's going to update the socials in the bios so you can see them. And don't don't forget to share the video, share the podcast, make sure everybody knows so that you can, we can grow, so we can all grow. And then when we get huge, we'll make sure to call you out for being one of the people that started us off. So if you want that, what's the word I'm looking for?
Clout.
No, no, like that good
Shout out.
feeling. I don't know. If you want a good feeling down the road when we get huge, you can. Um, you know what, Jasmine?
We'll
I
see
don't
you
need
guys in
your
the next
attitude.
one.
I don't need your attitude.
It's 50 minutes. I'm ending us.
Peace.